This is Spontaneous Live. I'm Julia Woning, and I wanted to draw something today, and I thought by myself, why don't I go live on YouTube? So for me, this is the first time I go live on YouTube, and I'm just preparing a drawing that I will make with pen pastels. So let me switch to my computer. I'm looking if it's okay over there. Let me see if I can see myself. No. Here. No. Oh, I hear myself. It's a good trial. On Wednesday I go live with a full workshop. You can find the details in my community here on YouTube. And now I want to play around with pan pastels and some Derwent pastel pencils, and just the beginning how I will start a drawing. So I will flip my camera. Hopefully it all goes well and you can see my desk. Let me try this. Yeah. And you can see my desk. Okay, today, or for now, I'm starting this project. Let me get clear of all kinds of stuff here. So, grapes. What I did is draw the lines on my white pastel mop paper. And you can see what I will do. Do you have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee? I have my cup of tea. And please send me a message if you can hear me well and everything is okay. I see that my camera is not correctly as I would like to. Something like this. Oh, I see that difference between Facebook and YouTube. I have to get my camera organized here. The lights are okay. You can see my full palette. That's important. That out of the way. Cup of tea here. That's no problem. Okay. Still, I see some things of my camera. I'm looking if I can change that. No, that's small. That's why this is a trial. I have to get acquainted with the camera, with YouTube, because I have been live on Facebook and Instagram, but not yet on YouTube. So let me see if there is some comments. I don't think so. There is a chat possible, so you can live chat. If someone who's watching now could please send me a message in the live chat that I can see if that's possible, that it works, that would be very nice. Thank you. A thumbs up already. Oh, Hanneke. Welcome. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. Here I have my palette. So that's my basic set. So the white, the colorless blender of the PanPastel, the black, the red, the magenta, the yellow, the skin tone, the sienna tints, the two blues and the gray one. The other ones are a mixture of all the other different 92 colors of the PanPastel that I've chosen for this particular project. So how will I start? It's a bright picture, and let me see if I can place it here. So yeah, you can see it. Oh, it's okay. I can see everything goes well in my view. So you have the whole palette, This is a basic pastel pencil that I've used, the Derwent Pastel Pencil. So I put down the line a little bit so I can see the outline of the grapes better. For those who don't understand or don't know yet what PanPastel is a pastel in a pan, but it has a different recipe, a different mixture than the traditional pastels, and it works very nicely with the soft tools. And the soft tools are palette knives with little covers, and these called soft tools. And you have several forms of it. This is an oval, a round, let me see what I have here, a flat one, and there is a pointy one like this one. I like to work with a mixture of these, but for now I will start, I'm guessing, with the round one and with the clean color because it's a light color. So I will, you see, you can switch it over very easily. Be careful when you place those covers, and then you can work with your soft tools on your PanPastel. I see some, let me see what I can see. Many people are here. Hi everyone. Nice to see. It's almost similar as on Facebook, but now here we're on YouTube. Great. So let's start. I've told you that in my set there is a colorless blender, and the colorless blender will help you mix those colors very easily. And if you dive in with the right color, it will be difficult to get a very nice surface. So we have to put an underlayer on your pastel mat paper. The combination of PanPastel and pastel mat, that's the one I prefer. So join me in how I will start this project. I go from top to bottom, and for the nice thing is that I can try this first drape here, and let me place an underlayer. I use a little bit of colorless blender just to get the hang of it, and it's difficult to see, so I will take a little bit of that yellowish green. When this live is over, I will place those colors so you know which colors I have been using. But this is the first layer, and you see I will place a very small color on my paper. Don't do the whole thing, or if you do a background, don't take large areas. Don't go larger than your tool. I guess that's the most important thing that I can. And rub it in very lightly with a light touch. If you rub it in with a hard hand, your soft tools will deteriorate, so be aware of that. Now I want to make a darker color. Let's see if this color is, it's a little bit bright, so I will use a darker green again, and with a light blender. And you see, you use just a light amount of PanPastel. And because there is already an underlayer, you can mix those colors very easily. See, like this? And this is only because there is an underlayer. If there isn't an underlayer, the mixture, the blending is not so nice as what I'm now doing. So let me see if I can hold down this. Yeah. That's okay, that's possible, because now I'm doing it and my hand will not be, the focus is on the paper. So this is a trial to get acquainted with the live on YouTube. Just a little smudge, maybe that's already too much. Then you can use some tissue paper just to rub it off a little bit, to have more control. And place that color on top of the green. Just a slight touch. This is a trial because on Wednesday I will give a full workshop for free on YouTube. I'm guessing about an hour. And you can find those line drawings and reference photos of the ice cream we will create in my community here on YouTube. And I will explain more about PanPastel and with just basic colors. I can show you, where is it? This is the ice cream. What I will do on Wednesday. So you only have like 4 or 5 basic colors that's already is in the basic set, or if you buy a basic set, you can join me with this workshop on Wednesday the 19th. It will be on 7 o'clock European time, or Dutch time, Central European time. Yeah, 7 o'clock in the evening. So then you can join me. For now, I was eager to do this one. And don't go too dark yet, but we will see. Go to the other one. Just again, a little bit with the blender and place down the first layer. Here it's much lighter, so I'm using white as an underlayer here, because there is some mixture of those greenish colors in my soft tool, and it will be mixing with the white. If you prefer, for example, in a different subject, you want a real white surface here and not a mixture of a green, because there's already green on your soft tool, then you have to use a new soft tool. That's why you never can have enough soft tools. So be aware of that. Again, a light lay down and a very loose hand. So be very kind to your soft tools on the paper. And again, some greenish color. Maybe this one also in the corner in here. More green. And because there is already a lay down, you can apply an extra layer like this. I will try here several grapes, and then I will play with those brown branches. Again, some green here with the blender in combination. And I'm guessing it's darker, so I won't try it here, but more in here, in between those grapes. And rather building it up, then go quickly and a lot of surfaces. So small areas to cover with the PanPastel. And you can apply it later on, so you can build it up. Again, you see what I do, tick, tick, tick. So there is a mixture, a light mixture on my soft tool, and I place it down again on here. Normally I would rotate my drawing so it's easier to access those areas, but for the camera it's not easy, so I will try to do it like this. And for a spontaneous live, I'm happy that there are just 6 watchers, or how do you call it, audience. So thank you that you're watching. If you have any question, please send me a chat so I can answer it. So what I'm doing is very light PanPastel to cover the white of those areas. Again, the blender and some color, and again on this side, maybe more. Always a mixture with a blender. Beware, when you use too much blender, you use too much PanPastel, and then probably your paper could be full. So it's experience how much blender or how much PanPastel you could use. And it looks easy, I know, but I'm experienced. So just try it, because it's okay. The pens are not cheap. They have a price, but you use very little of the pigments, and they don't dry out or break down if you don't let them fall. But you know, you can work with them over and over, and I think it's very nice. It's very easy to work, because I have a studio, but not everyone has a studio at home for the artwork. And it's very easy to put away because you can put a lid on it and the next day you can try it again. So it's very easy access and a very nice texture, very nice feel to it to create those PanPastel projects. There is my latest video you can find on my YouTube is this one, is this portrait of the little girl that I created with PanPastels and soft tools and some pastel pencils. And that's a video in a time lapse and in a real-time version. So don't forget to watch it, give it a thumbs up, and of course, check my notification button if you like my channel. So you will be the first to know if there is a live or if there is a new video. Let me see. Here I have to darken it, but be aware of it. If I'm darkening this, it will be difficult to use the same soft tool for the lighter color. So normally I have two soft tools, one with the darker color, one with the lighter color. But for now, I try to place those darker colors in here with a little blender. And you can see I'm turning around my soft tool to get those thin areas in here. Like this. Yeah, it was a really surprise. Thank you, Hanneke. I just sorry, I just created the live for Wednesday, and I thought by myself, okay, when I go live on Wednesday, maybe it's nice to do a tryout or just get acquainted with YouTube Live. So that's why I thought by myself, you want to draw? Yeah, just put it on YouTube Live. So now I have visitors and people can watch me how I create this. Like this and this. Put it on here. For those who aren't acquainted with the PanPastel, I have written a book, PanPastel Workshop. That's available in Dutch and in English, and it's available around the world. There where you can buy your PanPastels, you can order, or they can order for you the PanPastel book. And this is the PanPastel book, PanPastel Workshop, with lots of tips and tricks about how you can work with PanPastels in color, in black and white, and in all kinds of surfaces. So if you want to have more information about PanPastel, this one would be very nice. So these are the first colors. And I will work out those. Normally, I will work the whole area with PanPastels, and later on, I will work with pastel pencils. But for now, I want to show you just the first grapes, and then I will switch to my pastel pencils. Let me get some darker color in here. I want to have some contrast in those little grapes. And then you can see different styles or different layers of how you can work with PanPastels and those pastel pencils. Like this. Let me see where there are darker colors. Just bring some darker tones in here, underneath here, a little bit here. I'm guessing these are the right layers. I can see here there is much more light, so I will switch my tools, take some white on top of it, and place it a little bit on top of those, or on that grape in here, to get a lighter color. But if I can't get it lighter, probably I can bring more contrast in the grapes by making it darker. So I can apply some darker color in here, in those corners. And I want to try as much as I can to work with the soft tools before I flip over to my pastel pencils, because that's a different recipe and that works differently. So I always try to work as long as possible with my pen pastels and my soft tools in my work before I make the switch to the pastel pencils. And I know there are pastel artists, they just use the pen pastels as an underlayer and do a lot with the pastel pencils. Just do that what you prefer and what you like. This is my way how I work with those pen pastels. So mostly I work about 90 or 85% with my pen pastels and a few with pastel pencils. Like this. Maybe I can get the camera in. Let me see what happens. That's possible. Can I get it quite sharpen it, or how does it go? Yeah. Does my hand? Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out how it works with the camera on YouTube, because it's different than what I'm used to. So for now, I'm not sure if my image is sharp. You know what I mean? Let me see. Yeah, okay. Let's try again. Some white, some blender, a little bit in here. Place around, and you can see it's not white because there is color on my soft tool, and that's why I transfer it already on my paper, on the Pastelmat paper, and now I get some color and place it again on the paper like this. More green and more white. Let me apply some lighter tones in here, something like that, and here also. Get that light in those grapes on top of here. What you can see that's different between the regular pastel, the classical pastels, and the PanPastel is that you can mix with each other, but you can't place white on top of a color that's already on the surface, because they will mixture. We will rub it in with those soft tools. So you always have a mixture with the underlayer. So if you apply real white, then you have to erase it. Then you can apply a new white color on your Pastelmat paper. So it always will mixture with the underlayer that you already have placed on the paper. And that's different with the pastel, classical pastel. What also is different, there is almost no dust. So it's very dust free, or it's not completely free, but very less than the normal classical pastels. So that's, for now I will switch to a different tool with a smaller point, and that's the oval one. And you can see already there is a darker color on here, and I will take some color. Let me place it upwards and take a sip of my tea. It's getting cold already, my tea. How long? It's already almost in half an hour. That's why my tea is cold. Okay, for now I will take some darker color because I want to make sure that those darker colors are going down there. I don't want to take too much brown because that will be too warm and comes in front, and I want to make more depth. So I will take use of a little bit of purple and brown, and to make sure it's not too dark, I will rub it down on my tissue paper, a combination of dark brown and dark purple, and place it in here, in those corners where the dark contrast is in the grapes. So purple and brown. And why not only brown? Brown is too warm and it will come forward, and a cool color goes back. So that's the coloring theory. If it's a cold color, you will get depth. If it's a warm color, it comes to you. And what happens now is that this one will go back in the surface of the drawing, and just clean my tool. And now I will mix it with the color that's already on my paper, and I can blend it all out. I don't use the blender, I don't use any color. I just use my dark tool that already cleaned it up on my tissue paper and blend it all out to get the darker color. So if you want to get more light in that grape, don't apply only white. Also place some darker color. It's always a combination to get depth in your drawing. If the light and dark colors next to each other are in the same, or on the good spot, or in the same contrast values. So that's important. So place some darker tone in here. It's very small, but it works well. Then you get depth in your project. Again with the same tool, and be aware that the grape is round or oval, but is it really oval? Is there not a difference in form? And be aware of that. So always watching to your reference photo. And there are some lines in here. Just place those lines in here. A little bit of brown, like this, building it up. Maybe more green, again here. And you know, with this tool I don't want to go into the white, but in the darker tones I can get with this tool, because it's a very dark tool. So that's, I switch between dark and light tools. For now, I'm guessing this is okay. Maybe some lines in here. Maybe some darker tones in here too, on top of it. And I'm guessing now I will go, oh, maybe that grape. And a little bit of purple, just a little bit in this corner. Ooh, that was too much. Sometimes it's for me also difficult to see how much product I could use. No problem. I can look if I can correct it, or if it's really too much, and it's not really too much, but I can show you what you can do then, is you can use a kneadable eraser and just put it down, something like this, and then it will take the most of excess of the dark color away from the paper and your pen pastel, and you lighten up, and then you can apply again some pen pastel. So everything is correctable. Pen pastel is very easy to erase with a kneadable eraser, or with an electric eraser, or with a ordinary eraser. So, and working with the pen pastel on pastel mat paper, it's very, how do you call it? You can change a lot, you can correct a lot, and you can lay down a lot of layers with pen pastel on pastel mat paper. So that's why I think pen pastel and pastel mat paper is, for me, the best combo. But there are several papers where you can work. Pen pastel you can use on several undergrounds, so it's very easy to work on canvas, on ordinary paper, very beautiful with encrusting, with beeswax. So there are several combinations possible with those pen pastels. I'm guessing it's time to go to the pastel pencils. Let me see if I can place a little bit brown color in that branch in here to get a more acquaintance with those. Let me see what colors. I've used this one. I'm now using the burnt ochre from the Derwent Pastel. There is no reference in hard or softness in pastel pencils like with the graphite. So that's why many pastel artists have several brands working with with pastel pencils, because the reception, oh, that's a difficult one. How do you call it? The mixture of the pastels is different in every brand. So one brand is harder, the other one is softer of the pastels, and they have a difference in tone value. So there is a different in color. So that's why pastel pencil artists have several brands of pastel pencils. I prefer to work with the Derwent because I'm also Derwent ambassador, because I already worked a lot with the Derwent pencils for many years. Since my academy, I graduated in '94, so almost 30 years I work with the Derwent supplies. So yeah, I'm in love with those Derwent products. And this one is not too soft, not too hard, and you can really draw beautiful lines and colors. And sometimes I use the Stabilo or the Caran d'Ache for the finishing touch sometimes. The Chinese white is a really must-have. But yeah, for now I place some mid-tone browns. So not too dark, not too light, just to get acquainted with those branches of those grapes like this. And let me put the pen pastels a little bit away for now, and I will place the photograph next to me so you can see more what I'm doing, and maybe I can place the camera again more in. Let me see if that's possible. Is it possible to get it? I'm not sure if it's really sharpened, the camera. Okay, let's try again. With the same color, I will give a little bit of line around the grape, because this grape is sharp. So we have to have a very nice outline. And to rub the pastel of the pastel pencils in the paper, you could use the soft tools, but I prefer to use the rubber one. And that's a color shaper with a rubber tip like this. And then you can apply the pastel pencils much more in the groove of the pastel paper, and without taking too much off the paper. So that's what I prefer, rather than to use those paper stumps, because the paper stumps will rub off the pastel paper. But that's my experience. I've seen many pastel artists working with those paper stumps on the pastel paper. Just try it and see what's fine for you. Okay, let me get a darker color, like a chocolate, like pastel pencil, and apply it in here. Just place those colors in line. There, what you can see on the photograph. and try to captivate this atmosphere of the little branch, like here and here, like this, something like that, underneath here, in here. So thank you for watching. I hope to see you, that you join me on Wednesday with the popsicle, with the ice cream, with PanPastel and pastel pencils on pastel paper. Hope you join me, and until the next time, thanks for watching. Bye.